Okay, so in this video, we're going behind the scenes with some things with our business, my business, Almy Education, to give you an update on where we're at with some things and why we're doing some of the things that we're doing. And inevitably, it'll probably be like the last video, and I'll get a little stream of consciousness because that's how Kathy goes. And you can ask any of my students, that's what I do, but they seem to enjoy it. It keeps them awake, which is the goal. All right, so what I mentioned last time was we have figured out like building a house, that analogy for the kind of work that we do. The beautiful house inside and out when we're done is this beautifully redesigned math program that works structurally. So like, the roof is holding up, everything looks good, everything works nice. That's all of the policies, the courses you have, the processes that get students into them. That's part one. And that's what I talked about in the last video, which is the structural redesigns we help students do or help schools do. The second kind of redesign that we do is the inside of the house, where we actually get in and furnish it, basically. And that's where we make the classrooms beautiful and modern in our analogy. But what that means in practice for our schools is that's when we get down into the brass tacks, when we're looking at what are the topics we're covering, how, the pace, how are we using technology? What are we emphasizing? How are we doing instruction? How are we doing assessment? Can we pull anything? Do we need to add some things? What do we need to do to make that process, again, start to finish work for schools and work for students? So what I mean is I want students to feel good about it, but I also want the faculty that are teaching it. I want them to be like, yeah, this is really great. I was working with a school last week and we were working on redesigning this one course. And the instructor was like, I'm like looking forward to teaching this in the fall. Like, this is going to be good. This is going to be fun. And I'm like, that's what I want. It's not just going to be better for your students. It's going to be better for you, which sounds like we're doing that selfishly. We're not. Again, it's win-win. I want everybody to come away with, hey, we made all these changes and like, yeah, not everything's perfect, but there's a lot of things that are a lot better for everybody involved. That's the goal. Okay. It's never going to be perfect and we're never going to solve every problem. And without question, we're going to create a problem where there wasn't one, inevitably. We never try to do that, but that's just the way change is. You'll solve one thing and you'll create something else. And what we try to do is minimize the number of those and minimize their impact as well. Okay. So the second half that I was talking about, this furnishing the house inside the room, this classroom redesign, that's instruction and assessment. So I'm going to mention something that I don't talk as much about. I did for a long time, but I don't mention it enough, but I think about it every single day. And it's the membership platform that we built out starting, it's been 2 years now. We started in like summer 2020, and then we rolled it out in September 2020. And at that time, it was called Your STEM. And it started from all these classroom resources that we were collecting, creating, curating. There was original things made. It was professional development. It was resources, all kinds of stuff. And it was at the beginning of the pandemic because teachers needed so many things. But what was cool is it wasn't just, we need stuff to go online. It was, we got into deeper philosophical things of like, okay, if they have Google and they have a calculator and they have their phone and they can do everything, they can have any access to any technology, what are we going to do with them? And how do we have integrity in our grades? And what does it mean to grade? And what are we going to assess? And it was cool because all of those ideas of modernization that I believe in, that we do need to look at how we do instruction. What are we teaching? What are we focusing on? How are we using technology? How are we assessing people? Are we using equitable practices? Just because we've done something forever doesn't mean it's really equitable. A lot of times it isn't. So it was cool that in all of that horribleness with the pandemic, that it did pull out some of these good conversations. And we got to have a lot of schools get to know who we were with our professional development. Okay, so we assembled that into Your STEM, which was supposed to be for 6th grade all the way to the 2nd year of college, math and science. That's too hard to make everybody happy. And math is my jam. I mean, let's just be real. That's the thing I do. I know science is important, but I'm not an expert in that. So, or science education, science redesign, any of it. I'm not, and I'm not going to claim to be, I am. So what we did was we did a rebrand, and at some point last year, and actually I don't remember when we did that last year, but we changed Your STEM into Modern Math. And it's still a platform of resources, and we've continued to add to them. We have all kinds of on-demand training on all different kinds of topics, and we have additional resources. We contract people again to make things. Like people really like the non-Googleable problems that I talked about. Okay, so we've contracted faculty multiple times to make sets of non-Googleable problems. So you don't have to invent the wheel, and you can have something that is robust and problem-solving based, but is not just, they just go Google it or put it in a Chegg and it's right there. Okay. So we've worked on that. But the thing that I've really struggled with is, how do you package it? How do you sell it? How do you make it like take off in a way that faculty will like and what they can afford? And most faculty can't afford a lot of things like that, because like in my college, we had very little that we got on professional development funds. Some schools don't get any. So it's like, how do you do that? So I won't bore you with the business side of all of that, but suffice it to say, we figured out some things about that. And one of the things is, what we're going to be doing is just including it with our workshops going forward. And I was sitting here the other day going, why didn't we think of that before? That's kind of obvious. When someone's in a workshop on professional development, on instruction, or on assessment, the whole idea is that you learn how to make a change and then you go make it. Well, how are you going to make it if you don't have the tools and resources to be able to do that? Obviously, we should be giving when someone signs up for a workshop with us, we should be giving them Modern Math. And we do it for the entire department, full-time and part-time. It's not like just for and for 3 faculty, it's this. We don't do any of that. There's a lot that we've learned about business models, and it's a flat amount that covers the workshop, and however many faculty you want to put in Modern Math, rock on. Okay. So the idea is, how do we make that different than just what we've been doing? Well, currently, and this, I wouldn't even say it's like as of today, I don't think we've rolled out our new tool, which I'll tell you about in a second. But currently right now, my team that works on Modern Math, I think, would agree with me. When you open it up, it feels like the same feeling you have when you walk into a college library. It's like, whoa, I don't know where to start. I don't even know what I need. I don't even know what I don't know. So it's very overwhelming, because it's like, yeah, there's all this cool stuff, but I don't even know where to go or what I'm supposed to look at. So what we've been working on, and not we, this is Arlene, who is our program manager for Modern Math, and she's outstanding. She's been working on this whole self-diagnostic tool that we're going to be rolling out to members that allow them. It's very quick, it's free, all that. But it's a very quick way where we ask them a bunch of different questions, and it's basically an adaptive tool that, like, based on the responses, we can direct them. Oh, go look at this. Oh, are you trying to do this? Oh, are you trying to do a flipped classroom? Whatever. Like, are you trying to modernize this? Are you trying to change around whatever? And we have ways. And she did it much better than what I just described. This is why you have contributors, because that's not necessarily my strength. So, but Arlene is outstanding at it. So she created that. And that's going to be something we're going to be rolling out. Okay, again, awesome. We've got great resources, and we've got a way to get people to them. But faculty don't always log in. They've got other things to do. Duh, they're busy. And so one of the things that we're doing with it is kind of like with our intensive, how we're offering 6 months of support. The workshops will get 6 months of Modern Math access to go with them after the workshop is done. So the idea, if you're like, why are you doing that? Because I know, just like anybody else, if I have forever access to something, I'm never going to open it up. But if I have a deadline, then I will. And we want people to go away from our professional development and put it into action like ASAP, not like, oh, that was interesting. Oh, that funny lady for that one day, and we learned this idea. No, I want you to learn something and then go use it. And the only way you can do that is you have to have a couple of things. You have to have tools to help you use it. So use like resources. So that's what Modern Math provides. But you also are going to hit snags, and you need to have people that you can ask questions of. So just like what we learned with our course redesigns or our structural redesigns, you got to do something intense up front. So either our intensive, or in this case, we're talking about a workshop, but then you got to support people afterwards. And it's funny, we learned this with all of our transitional math stuff and other projects we worked on. And now it's like, oh, that's what really works for colleges and for classrooms and for math teachers, to be able to make substantive change that lasts. Okay, so we give them the tools, and then the thing that we're going to be adding are we're going to be contracting peer experts, so teachers that will be, we're going to have like an ask a coach that provide the coaching. So it's not just me, but we're going to have other people who have other specialties. So if they're in modern math, we're going to have a Slack channel, because we've used that very successfully with a lot of different projects we've had, and then some it hasn't taken off. So we've learned how to use that, and we're going to have that available. Contract people to provide support. When we've done that, we get a really quick turnaround on answers, and then people feel like using it because they know they're going to get their question answered. And you can see what other people have asked and see their answers. And we're like, oh, this is so good. Like, there's so much here good that we can help schools with by combining something that we already have. And we're trying to figure out, how do we make this available to people in a way they can afford, in a way they can use that really will benefit them. Because that's what you're trying to do with a business. So again, went way further. Maybe I shouldn't have notes next time. Maybe I keep my videos shorter if I don't have notes. So I went a little bit longer, but I really did give you behind the scenes on a lot of things on what we're doing with classroom redesign. So you're going to see more about this coming up. But if you're interested in them, just reach out to me. If you're like, ooh, we want that, we didn't know that, we're going to be sharing more in emails and on our new website. That's going to be we've been working on it for months. It's going to be rolling out soon, and you'll be able to see all these things. But it's, this is what business is about. It's not just, can you do it? It's, can you articulate what you're doing in a way that people understand, and that the right people understand it, because we're not for everybody. We're not for, like, Harvard. I mean, they don't need us. That's not what we're for. But we're for, like, the other, like, I would say almost 99% of colleges that are trying to improve their math, colleges and universities. So, figuring that out, and then how to make things and sell them and keep a business afloat. It's a bit of an adventure. It's really interesting. But that's, I'm learning, and we'll continue to learn, and we'll continue to tweak and iterate, just like we say to all of our clients. We're helping them with redesign. It's never done. It's like the laundry. It's never done. All right. So that was a real behind the scenes with the business, but I just thought that might be interesting to learn a little bit more about what we're doing. I hope you have a wonderful day.